Hi, my name is Jeremy and I'm an undergraduate student from Universitas Pajajaran majoring in pharmacy, and right now I'm an IISMA Awardee for the National Taiwan Normal University at Taipei. And currently, as you can see, I'm in my main campus right now while taking this video, and there's this little beautiful garden over here that I took as my background. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And now I want to talk about my experiences studying in Taiwan for one semester, approximately 4 months. And yeah, as you can see, this is raining right now. This is pretty much how the Taiwanese weather is during this month. So if you guys are planning to go to Taiwan, please keep that in mind. And for my experiences, I'm gonna start from when I was quarantined. When I arrived in Taipei, I was quarantined for 14 plus 7 days, which is 21 days, and there's nothing much going on in my quarantine, so I'm just going to skip until the end of it. And at the end of my quarantine, I started to go around to the streets of Taiwan and began to see how Taiwan truly is. And I observed the demeanors of the people, and I noticed a lot of differences, which I'm going to talk about later when I'm talking about my travels. And now I'm going to talk about the courses that I took in Taiwan. I took 3 courses, 2 of them being a cultural class about Taiwan. The first one being Discovering Taiwan. It's about the past, the history, anthropology, sociology, and politics of Taiwan in the past and in the present a little bit also. And the second one is Taiwanese popular culture, and this is about the popular culture of Taiwan, talking about the existing subcultures that exist from multiple various origins, from culture, from history, and from everything else. It's a lot to take. And my last course is a science course. It's called histology, and it is the course that is closest to my major, which is pharmacy, as I've talked about before. And I took histology because, well, it's close to my major, and I've studied similar things. So yeah, I just took it to complete my knowledge regarding that field. And for my courses, the 2 cultural courses that I took were a really new experience for me, as I've never studied those fields in my major, since my major is science based, it's pharmacy. And actually, the fields that they talk about history, about anthropology, about sociology and politics, those fields are a hobby of mine, and I frequently read them for my own enjoyment. And so this is the first time, these 4 months is the first time that I read those resources and those fields in an academic setting. And so far it's been a really fun journey, and I've learned a lot about how to search my references and how to dive deeper into a topic. And I also learned that a country's history is really massive, so yeah, that's another one thing. And other than my study experiences, I also participated in one other program that is, well, you could say it's a cultural exchange program based on the foreign students there in my university, which is NTNU, and the name of the program is the Flipped Class program. And I participated in, I think, 1 class or 1 session in the Flipped Class program. And the Flipped Class program is basically when me and several other foreign students, either from Indonesia or other international students that applied for the program too, we went into a class of Taiwanese students in the university, and we were tasked to present something about ourselves or about our home country. And I choose to present about my home country and the culture of it, which is the culture of Salim or Sungkem or Salam, or yeah, however you call it, since there's a lot of, you can call it by a lot of things. And it's basically the Indonesian etiquette on how to greet people and how to meet new people. And yeah, so I chose that as my topic. And in my Flip Class session, I have one friend, one IISMA Awardee too from Indonesia, Jonathan, and he chose another topic to present regarding Indonesia, which is about food. So we present one serious topic and one fun topic. Everyone likes food, so yeah. And when I finished my presentation and Jonathan finished his presentation and the other foreign students also finished their presentation, it's now the turn of the Taiwanese students to present regarding their own culture. And there are a few interesting presentations by the Taiwanese students. One of them being the festivals that are in Taiwan, and he presented about a lot of festivals. And one of the upcoming festivals that I want to visit is the Dragon Boat Festival. So I'm looking forward to that. And the other interesting presentation is about the indigenous culture of one of the students, which, well, let's say she was really enthusiastic about sharing her culture. So the name of her culture is Sedik Balai, and she presented about, well, everything really, a brief history about her tribe and her culture, and then her food and her languages, a few phrases. So yeah, and another thing is she used her traditional clothing during the presentation. So yeah, that was interesting, and I really like the cultural exchange part of the program because even after the session has ended, some students just come to us and ask us questions, and then I ask them back, how does this be in Taiwan? Or yeah, so it was a really fun experience. And the last thing I want to talk about is, of course, when I go abroad, I travel, and I also traveled a lot in Taiwan. So as you can see, yeah, I've lost a lot of weight. That's an evidence of how much I traveled too. So in Taiwan, I've traveled to several different cities, namely Kaohsiung, Tainan, Taichung, Taoyuan, and Hualien. And from each of the cities that I visited, there are some differences in the Taiwanese people and their demeanor, and it's really interesting to observe those little things. Like if I were to talk about one example or maybe two examples, I'm gonna say that the MRT in Kaohsiung and in Taipei are really different. Since Taipei is it's the capital city of Taiwan, so Taipei is more hectic than Kaohsiung, and I think people generally don't really mind talking in MRTs, but in Kaohsiung, if you talk, people are going to look at you. That's one difference that I noticed. And the other is that drivers in Hualien are more aggressive than in Taipei, and don't ask how I come to that conclusion, but yeah, it's a really fun experience traveling and seeing different demeanors, different cultures, and different things that exist in different cities. So yeah, I'm really grateful for this experience that ISMA gave me. And lastly, I want to talk about I really like ISMA, and I'm ISMA biased because of course I don't need to say more. ISMA has allowed me to have this opportunity of traveling to another country and studying abroad and seeing how the universities in other countries operate and how they study and how the professors share their presentations, and it's been really interesting, accompanied with the travels and my fellow awardees, which are all great people and amazing people, all of them. And yeah, what are you waiting for? Take the leap. Be bold to go abroad.